We continue to track a strong thunderstorm right now affecting parts of Charlotte County, including but not limited to Port Charlotte. And this is what it looks like right now, looking southbound on US 41 from our Sunseeker Resort Charlotte Harbor Tower camera. And as you cross over the Peace River, inevitably seeing some slowdowns. The good news, though, if there is any improvement, we can now actually see the other side of the shoreline. We weren't able to do that just 5 minutes ago. Now let's switch gears, head to the interstate where we're also dealing with this very heavy rain crossing over the Peace River. This is from the Harbor View area. So right there as we cross over the Peace River, mile marker 167 or so, seeing that very intense rain that continues to fall. This particular thunderstorm not just producing frequent lightning and heavy rainfall, but also the threat for some strong gusty winds in excess of 40 miles per hour. So no warnings are in effect, but definitely that concern for it being a rather strong storm. It continues to work its way off toward the north and west around 25 miles per hour. Now moving into the Murdoch area. El Jobin, you're up next, and it's going to be crossing over the Myakka here shortly and heading into the Cape Hayes Peninsula. So let's put a timeline on it and break down when we're going to see these storms. For Gasparilla, it's going to be approaching Gasparilla right around 5:54. Into Rotunda around 6 o'clock and into Inglewood right around 6:09, though I'm optimistic by the time it does hit Inglewood that it should be a bit weaker, but still, nonetheless, producing that heavy rainfall, frequent lightning across the heart of Charlotte County into and out of Punta Gorda and Port Charlotte. Then we head farther inland. Lehigh Acres, get ready. You have another storm now crossing over, heading your direction. That storm really working its way from the east toward the west, right around 25 miles per hour as well. Also some of these stronger cells to the south of Alligator Alley, just to the north of Port of the Islands, but provided it holds itself together, that's going to be working its way off toward the west, and Lely as well as Port Royal, you could eventually be affected by that particular thunderstorm. So we'll be seeing these isolated to scattered downpours here for the next few hours. Not all of us are going to be impacted, but where we are, if you are outside, you can hear that thunder. You do want to make sure to head indoors immediately. These scattered storms still in the mix, even as late as around 10 o'clock, but after midnight, everything clears out, clouds included. So we'll kick off tomorrow morning. Partly cloudy skies. Winds are expected out of the east-southeast 10 to 15 miles per hour. And like today, with this particular flow pattern, that means the first half of the day stays dry, hot and humid. And then after 2 p.m., there we go, another round of storms developing. So if you want to get in some beach time, the earlier in the day, the better. And continuing through the evening, still dealing with some of those downpours fizzling out after 9, 10 o'clock. As we look ahead to your day planner for tomorrow, we'll start things off mostly sunny, 80 degrees heading into the afternoon, mid-90s on the way, but that 94-degree high feeling much hotter. It's going to be feeling more like 103 when you factor in that humidity in Fort Myers and Sanibel, feeling more like 104 in Golden Gate and Immokalee before those storms fire up. And in Punta Gorda, Port Charlotte, it's going to be feeling more like 105 degrees. For our boaters, winds are expected out of the east tomorrow, 10 to 15 knots, Gulf seas 2 feet, moderate chop for those inland waterways and bays. And quick check on the tropics. Great news, everything continuing to stay nice and quiet across the Atlantic, Caribbean, into the Gulf of Mexico. Scattered afternoon storms in the mix as we wrap up the work week and head into the weekend with dry conditions expected through the mornings.